In this complete Minecraft enchanting guide, I'll show you how you can get perfect enchantments on all your tools and armor in Minecraft. Check out the timestamps if you're looking for something in specific. Armor has many exclusive enchantments. We will first go over enchantments that can be added to all armor pieces. Protection is an enchantment that reduces damage taken from all sources, except special ones like the Warden's Sonic Beam. Each protection level reduces damage received by 4%, so the maximum damage reduction is 64% when all armor pieces are enchanted with Protection 4. This damage reduction is applied after armor. The limit you can get is 80%, which would require you to get Protection 5 in all your armor, something you can only do with commands. Blast Protection reduces the damage received by explosions, including creepers, TNT, or fireworks. Its maximum level is 4. Each blast protection level reduces the damage from explosions by an 8%, stacking to a maximum of 80%. Additionally, in Java Edition, it reduces the knockback from explosions, up to a maximum 60% when you have blast protection 4 in one piece. Projectile protection reduces the damage received by projectiles, including arrows, tridents, or shulker balls. Its maximum level is 4. Each projectile protection level reduces the damage from projectiles by an 8%, stacking to a maximum of 80%. Fire protection reduces the damage received by sources of fire, like lava, magma block, or lit campfires. Its maximum level is 4. Each fire protection level reduces the damage from fire by an 8%, stacking to a maximum of 80%. Fire protection also reduces burn time when set on fire by 15% per level. If you have at least 7 levels of fire protection, you will never catch on fire. When using blast, fire, and projectile protection, after 10 levels taking into account all armor pieces, extra levels won't have any effect. So it doesn't make sense to enchant all your armor with blast protection 4, as that would add to 16 levels, and you wouldn't be getting anything from the extra 6. You can also reach the 80% reduced damage by combining them with regular protection, as each protection level adds a 4% damage reduction to all sources. For example, with 12 levels of protection and 4 of blast protection, you would reach that 80% damage reduction from explosions. So you should always use either 4 pieces with protection 4, or 3 pieces with protection 4, and 1 piece with the specific protection you want to maximize at level 4. Thorns causes attackers to receive damage when they attack you. This damage is probabilistic, which means that the higher the level, the higher the average damage dealt will be. The maximum is reached with 4 pieces with Thorns 3, which on average deals 3 points of damage to the attacker. However, when Thorns inflicts damage, it reduces the durability of the armor by an additional 2 points. Because of that, I don't recommend using Thorns for your armor in your survival worlds, as it's not worth it. For PvP though, it is a good enchantment. Obviously you can also enchant your armor with Unbreaking and Mending, and you always should. Unbreaking is much worse for armor than it is for tools and weapons, but is still very useful. We'll go over the best helmet enchantments now. Respiration increases the breathing time when underwater. Its maximum level is 3, and each level increases breathing time by 15 seconds. Taking into account the 15 base seconds, with Respiration 3, you can stay underwater for 60 seconds before you start drowning. Aqua Affinity makes you mine blocks faster underwater. When underwater, it takes 5 times as long to mine blocks. Aqua Affinity ignores this effect completely. Its maximum level is 1. The best order to enchant your helmet in an anvil is the following. Add Respiration 3 to your helmet. Add 2 books with Protection 4 and Aqua Affinity, and then add them to the helmet. Do the same with Unbreaking and Mending. In total, this takes 27 experience levels. Chestplates don't have any exclusive enchantments. The best order to enchant the chestplate is the following. Add Protection 4 to your chestplate, then add Unbreaking 3 and Mending into a single book, and add that book to your chestplate. In total, this takes 13 experience levels. Leggings have 1 exclusive enchantment. Swift Sneak increases the player's speed while crouching. Its maximum level is 3. At that level, the crouching speed will be 75% of the walking speed. The best order for the leggings is add Protection 4 to your leggings, add Unbreaking 3 and Mending to a book, and then to your leggings. This takes 13 levels. Then you can add Swift Sneak. Boots have many exclusive enchantments. Feather Falling reduces fall damage by 12% per level, reaching a maximum 48% with level 4. If you want to get Feather Falling with the enchantment table, you shouldn't enchant at level 30. The best level for getting this enchantment is level 22. You can place torches between the enchantment table and the bookshelves to reduce the level. Depth Strider makes you swim faster. At level 3, you will swim as fast as you walk, and higher levels have no effect. However, if you have Depth Strider, speed potions can be used to swim even faster. Frostwalker creates frosted ice when walking over water, and also makes you immune to blocks like campfires and magma blocks. The maximum level is 2. The higher the level, the more ice you will create. You have to choose between Frostwalker and Depth Strider, as they aren't compatible. Soul Speed allows you to walk a lot faster on soul sand and soul soil. Its maximum level is 3, at which you get a 61.5% increase in speed. However, this costs extra durability, which you have to take into account. The best order to enchant boots is add Depth Strider 3 to your boots, then add 2 books with Protection 4 and Unbreaking 3, then add them to your boots. Then add Feather Falling 4 and Mending, and add them to your boots. In total, this costs 30 experience levels. Maces have 3 exclusive enchantments. First, you have to choose between Density, Breach, Smite, or Bane of Arthropods. This will be your main source of damage. You have to choose wisely, as they aren't compatible with each other. Density increases the damage to the mace's smash attack. It increases the extra damage per block fallen by 1 per level, which is really a lot. However, it has no impact on the mace's regular attack's damage. It makes a huge difference, as for example, Density 5 will deal 25 additional points of damage in a 5-block fall. Breach reduces the effectiveness of the target's armor by 15% per level. This is a lot, as at level 4 you already have 60% armor penetration in your attacks. Bane of Arthropods increases the damage dealt to arthropods. It also slows them down. But there are barely any arthropods in the game, so it isn't really a good enchantment. Smite increases the damage dealt to undead mobs. With Smite 5, you can one-shot wither skeletons. However, if you're using the mace's special attack, if you fall from a big distance, Density becomes a much better enchantment, which makes Smite not very useful in maces when fighting the wither. If you're playing in single player, you should always enchant with Density, while Breach makes a lot more sense in multiplayer for PvP. Windburst is the best enchantment for the mace. This enchantment will launch you upwards, allowing you to chain smash attacks. Each level will cause you to go approximately 8 extra blocks upwards, so you'll get launched 24 blocks at level 3. This enchantment can only be found in the trial chambers as loot from ominous vaults. Funny enough, you can actually activate this enchantment by just jumping off a single block. You can also enchant the mace with Fire Aspect. Fire Aspect will light your target on fire, and the burning time will be longer the higher the level of the enchantment. It isn't as good on the mace as on the sword, as you're one-shotting your targets anyway with the smash attack. You can also add Unbreaking and Mending to your mace. The optimal order to enchant the mace is the following. First, add Windburst. Then, add 2 books with Density and Fire Aspect, and add them to your mace. Then, add 2 books with Unbreaking and Mending, and add them to your mace. And here you have it, a mace with perfect enchantments. Tridents have 4 exclusive enchantments. Impaling increases the damage dealt to aquatic mobs, and its maximum level is 5. In Bedrock Edition, it's slightly better, as the damage increase is applied to all mobs underwater, not just aquatic mobs. It isn't very useful, but it will deal a lot more damage to Guardians, for example. Without Impaling, it takes 10 throws to beat an Elder Guardian. With Impaling 5, you only need 4. Loyalty will make the Trident come back to you after you throw it. Its maximum level is 3. The higher the level, the faster the Trident will come back, and it really makes a difference. This enchantment is a must-have for throwing the Trident. However, it won't work if you throw your Trident into the void. Channeling will produce lightning strikes when thrown at a mob, but only during a thunderstorm. It only works if you hit your target. Its maximum level is 1. Riptide will keep you from being able to throw the trident. However, it will give you a dash that you can use in water or when it's raining. Its maximum level is 3. This dash will deal damage to enemies and can also be used to fly with the elytra if it's raining. You can also add sharpness to a trident with an anvil, but you can't combine it with impaling. Obviously, you can also add unbreaking and mending to your trident. You can't combine Riptide with loyalty, and neither with channeling. So, you can either go for a trident with Riptide, or for a trident with loyalty and channeling. You can add impaling to both of them. We'll go over the exclusive enchantments for crossbows. Crossbows have 3 dedicated enchantments. Multi-shot makes you fire 3 arrows instead of 1, and its maximum level is 1. Piercing causes arrows to pierce through entities, letting you hit multiple enemies with 1 arrow. Each piercing level will let you hit an additional enemy, having a maximum level of 4. Quick Charge makes the reloading time for the crossbow lower, being its maximum level 3. You can't combine multi-shot and piercing, but you can mix both of them with Quick Charge. You can also add unbreaking and mending to your crossbows. So, there's 2 types of crossbows you can get. You can choose either multi-shot or piercing. Multi-shot makes more sense if you're going to shoot fireworks, while if you intend of using arrows, you should probably go for piercing. Swords have 7 exclusive enchantments. First, you have to choose between Sharpness, Smite, and Bane of Arthropods. These enchantments aren't compatible with each other, and they will be your main source of damage. Sharpness increases the total damage of the sword. Its maximum level is 5. In Java Edition, each sharpness level gives half a point of damage, plus another half a point flat for having the enchantment. That means that the first level will increase your damage by 1 point, and all the levels afterward will do so by half a point. In Bedrock Edition, you get 1.25 points of damage per level, which is similar to Java before the 1.9 update. Smite increases damage dealt to undead mobs. It is way better than Sharpness, each level adding 2.5 points of damage. However, the downside is that it doesn't work on all mobs. Undead mobs include zombie variations, skeleton variations, and the Wither. A sword with Smite 5 will deal around double the damage than one with Sharpness 5. If you're farming Wither skeletons, or fighting the Wither though, you should always use a sword with Smite. Bane of Arthropods increases damage dealt to arthropods. It works just like Smite, with each level adding 2.5 points of damage. Additionally, the enchantment inflicts slowness 4 on arthropods when hit. However, the only arthropods in the game are spiders, cave spiders, silverfish, endermites, and bees, so there's really no point in using this enchantment. Sweeping Edge increases the damage to the sword's sweeping attack. This enchantment is exclusive to Java Edition. Sweeping Edge adds part of the single target attack damage to the sweeping attack. At level 1, it will add 50% of the damage. At level 2, it's 66%. And at level 3, it's 75%. Without Sweeping Edge, all swords deal 1 point of damage with the sweeping attack. For example, an iron sword with Sweeping Edge 1 will deal 4 points of damage with its sweeping attack, 1 from the base damage plus 3, which is 50% of the iron sword's damage. Sharpness, Smite, and Bane of Arthropods also increase this damage. Looting improves the drops from mobs. Its maximum level is 3. It increases the amount of common drops by 1 per level, and it also increases the change of mobs dropping rare drops. This enchantment is essential when looking for tridents or wither skulls. Fire Aspect sets the target on fire. Every level adds 4 seconds of burning to the target. However, you have to subtract 1 to the total. At level 1, it lasts 3 seconds, dealing 3 points of damage, and at level 2, it lasts for 7 seconds, dealing 7 points of damage. In Bedrock Edition, this enchantment can also be used to light up candles, campfires, and even TNTs. Knockback increases, obviously, the knockback. At level 1, it's a 105% increase, and at level 2, it's a 190% increase. This enchantment is alright for survival, but it's kind of controversial for PvP. At level 2, you push players too far to keep hitting them, so it's just used by obnoxious players that want to spam you with their bow. Obviously, you can also add unbreaking and mending to your sword. The optimal order to enchant your sword is the following. First, add Sweeping Edge to your sword, then add looting and unbreaking into a single book, and then to your sword. Add sharpness and knockback to a single book, and then to your sword. Finally, do the same with fire aspect and mending, and them to your sword. This takes in total 46 experience levels. Bows have 4 exclusive enchantments. Power increases the damage dealt by arrows. Each level increases the damage by a 25%, with the first level adding an extra 25%. So Power 1 deals 50% more damage than a regular bow, and Power 5 deals 150% more damage. Punch increases the knockback dealt by arrows. Without Punch, the knockback is of 2 blocks. With Punch 1, it's 5.5 blocks, and with Punch 2, it's 8.8 blocks, which is quite a lot. This can also be used to boost yourself, a trick called Punch Shot. Flame causes the bow to shoot fire arrows. These arrows will light targets on fire for 5 seconds, dealing 5 points of damage. This is a very overpowered enchantment for PvP. Also, it can be used to light up campfires, candles, and even TNTs. Infinity prevents the bow from consuming regular arrows. That means that with a single arrow, you can shoot until your bow breaks. This doesn't work with either spectral arrows nor tipped arrows. This enchantment isn't compatible with mending, as that would be too overpowered. Additionally, you can also enchant your bow with unbreaking and mending, but you have to choose between mending and infinity when enchanting your bow. For infinity, the optimal enchantment order is the following. Add Power 5 to your bow, then add 2 books with infinity and unbreaking, then add 2 books with punch and flame. For mending, the order is this. Add Power 5 to your bow, then add Punch 2 and Flame, then Unbreaking and Mending. And these are the 2 perfect bows you can get in Minecraft. There's 3 exclusive enchantments for tools. Efficiency helps you break blocks faster. Its maximum level is 5. It's important to notice that with Efficiency 5 and Haste 2 from a beacon, you can insta-mine stone. Efficiency 5 on a hoe allows insta-mining every single block that can be broken with a hoe. Fortune increases the drops from certain blocks. Its maximum level is 3. Fortune in pickaxes is useful to get more loot from ores, especially diamonds. On shovels, Fortune 3 will make you always get flint when digging gravel. Axes don't benefit much from Fortune, but is slightly useful for melons and mushroom blocks. Fortune on hoes is actually great, as it makes obtaining apples and saplings easier from leaves and increases the drops from your crops like potatoes and carrots. On wheat, it only makes it drop more seeds. Silk Touch allows you to obtain certain blocks. Grass blocks, glass blocks, or stone are good examples. Pickaxes with Silk Touch are very important for being able to pick up your ender chest. On a shovel, Silk Touch is useful for grass or always getting gravel. Hoes with Silk Touch are great for obtaining leaves or certain skulk blocks. Axes with Silk Touch are great for obtaining melons, bookshelves, beehives, and mushroom blocks. You can't combine Silk Touch and Fortune, so you should always get 2 tools with perfect enchantments. For Fortune, the best enchantment order is the following. Add Fortune 3, then add Unbreaking and Mending together, then add Efficiency. This takes 23 levels. For Silk Touch, add Efficiency, then add Unbreaking and Mending together, then add Silk Touch. This takes 21 levels. Axes are a bit different, as you can benefit from adding sharpness to them and use them as a weapon. The optimal order for axes is the following. Add first Fortune 3, then Efficiency and Unbreaking, then Sharpness and Mending. This takes 32 levels, or add Efficiency 5, then Sharpness and Unbreaking, then Silk Touch and Mending. This takes 30 levels. Fishing rods have 2 exclusive enchantments. Luck of the Sea will increase the value of your loot, making it more possible to get treasure from fishing. Lure will instead increase the frequency in which you fish, making you get loot more often. The first one makes your loot better. The second one makes you get more loot. The best order to enchant your fishing rod is the following. First, add Luck of the Sea to the rod, then add Lure. Finally, add 2 books with Unbreaking and Mending, and then to your rod. Shears are similar to other tools, as you can enchant them with Efficiency to make them faster. You can also add Unbreaking and Mending to them. In Java Edition, you don't need Silk Touch on your shears to get cobwebs, but in Bedrock Edition you do, so it's something to take into account. We'll go over other items. These are the shield, elytra, and flint and steel. All of them can be enchanted with unbreaking and mending and nothing else. You should first add unbreaking and then add mending to them. You can also enchant warped fungus on a stick and carrots on a stick. But let's be honest, you didn't even remember these items existed. We shouldn't forget the 2 curses. Curse of Vanishing can affect any tool or armor piece. When you die, items with this curse will disappear. This is useful in PvP servers when you don't want your enemies to get your loot. Curse of Binding can only affect armor, and it will prevent you from removing that piece of armor once you wear it. The only way to take it off is by dying. This is a great way of trolling someone with a pumpkin and a dispenser. And this is everything you can know about enchantments in Minecraft. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, you will probably also enjoy this one. Thanks for watching.